Hello. How are you guys doing today? I hope well, wherever or whenever you're watching this. By the way, I have a little, I think I had been coming down with maybe a little cold. So if my voice sounds a little bit nasally or my voice sounds raspy, I hear it. Maybe you don't hear it. But anyways, I'm doing okay. Let's get this started. So I have a few slides here for you. Let me share my screen. I want to talk to you today about why interpersonal effectiveness matters. And there's three sections here. Stronger relationships, reduce conflict, and improve self-esteem. There's so many reasons, truly so many reasons why interpersonal effectiveness matters. But I'm going to talk to you about these three. Stronger relationships. So now this is not about having more relationships. This is not about quantity at all. This is about quality, truly. This is about emotional connection, even I would say. And emotional sounds very personal. So it might sound like it is more so of a romantic relationship or a family member, maybe a mother, a father, or children, but truly stronger relationships can come from peer to peer at work. It could be between you and your mentor or your manager, your leader. It really is about building that deeper connection through clear communication and mutual understanding. When you are able to communicate with other people consistently in a way that it aligns with your self perception. So, say if you see yourself as a smart person, right? And you communicate in a way and the way that you get feedback or responses from other people makes you question how smart you are, just as an example. And so you're going to feel conflicted about that because then it's going to perhaps make you feel like you're not as smart as you think or as you want to be, perhaps, or how you want to be perceived as. And so when you're able to communicate clearly and be understood and kind of embraced for the way you are, that that seems to have a better. Okay, so today we're hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about the foundations of interpersonal effectiveness, and I have some slides here for you. I apologize if you hear my voice sounding a little bit different today. I hear it. I think I'm coming down with something. Maybe you don't hear it, so never mind. But we're here to talk about foundations of interpersonal effectiveness. And I am truly hoping that this helps you build confidence, respect, and clarity in your relationships. And it's not a 180 overnight transformation, certainly, but it gives you maybe like a little closer to your ultimate goals in improving interpersonal effectiveness. So why is this important to talk about? Why does it matter? And I can probably give you a very long list of reasons why, but I'm going to pick three. One of them being the ability to have stronger relationships. And this is not about more relationships, right? But about having stronger ones. So it's certainly a quantity versus quality or quality versus quantity rather. So we're concerned here with the quality of our relationships and not the quantity. And now I don't know if I said that backwards before, but anyways, so building deeper connections through clear communication and mutual understanding. Let me tell you that sometimes we feel an emotional disconnect from other people, whether that could be anybody, that could be your manager, maybe you're feeling misunderstood, not valued. It could be from your spouse that perhaps you feel that they don't validate you, they don't hear you. I mean, it could be from your kids. You feel like maybe they don't respect you. And that all of that might be true. While at the same time, perhaps there are ways in which you can implement new skills and you can start to think differently about yourself that could help your relationships and their strengths. So if we kind of hone in and building a deeper connection with the people that we already know, the people already in our lives, through improving the way that we communicate. we certainly will feel better while we're feeling better understood, right? If we feel like we are making a request, right? If we're making a request and we feel as though our request is it maybe feels like a big ask, and there's lack of follow through and things like that. It makes us sometimes question the way that we see ourselves. Like maybe we feel, we have respect for ourselves and we feel, that we have value, but maybe in those situations it makes us question our sense of self, maybe our sense of worth. And so I want to tell you here that this is just your emotional mind, if you will, speaking out here and taking over. Those may not actually be the facts. So if you reflect back to previous interactions that maybe there was a failure to connect, a failure to be misunderstood mutually. I want you to think about the logistics of it, right? The facts, around it. The timing, your energy level, even your health. Were you healthy? Was that the best timing for that conversation? Were you upset about something else before you went into that conversation? Did they cut you off guard? Were you triggered somehow? Did you feel like you were thoughtful in your response, or was it more of a reaction? I mean, you can think about all of these different things and then start to reflect on that. But if we really focus on how that interaction made us feel versus all these other facts around the situation itself, it'll keep us away from working towards improving our skills. Okay. Now, with reducing conflict, we want to be able to navigate disagreements with skills that preserve relationships and dignity. And I would say that especially maybe for maybe not especially, but couples is the one that stands out the most to me right now. And that is that, you know, you don't want to fight anymore. Like you just want to get along. You want everything to be great. Everything is great until you fight. And so it's not about eliminating conflict. It's not about avoiding. We certainly don't want to avoid it because that just, in the long run, just makes things worse. But it is about learning how to have a healthy conflict, right? And you certainly can have a healthy conflict. Conflict doesn't mean all negative. It really is not about the conflict itself, but it's about how we get through the conflict. How do you do it with respect, with dignity, and with fairness? Because anytime you have conflict, you need someone else included in the conflict. And so there has to be a balance between what the other person wants and what you want. Okay. And then lastly, improving self-esteem. Once we identify what areas we lack, what areas we need to improve on, what areas we need to take accountability for, commit to adjusting, to changing, then when we start to implement these changes slowly, maybe not at first, but slowly, we start to build a little bit more confidence. And so it improves our self-esteem because now we have new skills that we didn't before. And because advocating for yourself and being able to speak up while at the same time respecting others, that gives you a more balance. Maybe balance is not the right way to explain this, but yeah, let's call it balanced self-esteem, right? Because it may be that you don't have any problem advocating for yourself whatsoever. That's not the problem at all. But perhaps you can notice, you can feel, or maybe you've been told that you come off too strong or aggressive or imposing. And so that keeps you from speaking your mind, or maybe it creates friction whenever you want to advocate for yourself. And that puts you in conflict internally because one hand you want to advocate for yourself, and then the other you don't want to offend anybody or upset anybody, especially if it's in a professional environment. But you feel a little more comfortable in your personal relationships with that dynamic, but not in your professional, or vice versa. I'm not sure. Anything's possible. So again, if we feel a bit more balance in advocating ourselves while at the same time respecting others. That gives us more ease. It aligns with values better, and then we are acting more in accordance with being empathetic, with having harmony in relationships, and so that puts us at ease. And so then we build a bit more confidence, and that improves our self esteem. Those are the top 3 reasons why interpersonal effectiveness matters. I hope you have enjoyed this quick training here, and come back because there is more. And that's it. Thank you.